the Backrooms. You've been here before. Hi, hello? Do you guys happen to know the way back to the city? Well, hello. Of course we do. We know all the routes that lead to these forests. That's great. So, we'll tell you while you warm up. Sit down. Sit down. Oh, I don't mean to intrude. I just need directions. It's no bother. There is always space for one more. Please, join us. Let the fire work its wonders. Fine, just a minute, thank you. What brings you to these woods anyway, boy? Yes, tell us your story. Stories are the only thing that keeps us alive. You know, there's not much to do around here. Oh, right, of course. I just wanted to have an adventure. I know it sounds silly, but back in the city, all the guys my age have had some exciting experience. An extraordinary encounter with some mysterious entity or something like that. And I wanted to have mine. Oh, don't worry, boy, we understand. We were all young once. But I was a fool, and I lost my way. I hurt my knee, and I honestly didn't come prepared at all. Boy, no one is born an adventurer. Not even us. We've all failed miserably at one time or another. Well, thank you for the reassurance, but I should start the way back home. Thank you for letting me rest here. Really. But you can't leave now. It's too dark. You will get lost. Besides, if stories to impress your friends are what you're looking for, well, these eyes have seen plenty of things. I don't know. I really don't want to bother. Come on, boy. The food is almost ready. Spend the night with us, and by dawn, you'll have enough stories to tell for the rest of your life. Okay, fine. I'll accept your hospitality, but I hope these stories are good. Entity 45. Chupavidas. Habitats. Outdoors. Indexed entity threat score. Danger 3. Intelligence B+. Solitude is one of the greatest obstacles a wanderer can face. It is something beyond our control, something that eats away at us, little by little, killing the unwary before they even realize. It is, I dare to say, our deepest fear, and that is why it should come as no surprise that this damned place we now call home has found a way to take advantage of humanity's inherent need for companionship. An unknown wanderer on Chupavidas. Image caption. One of the first captured images of Entity 45. Description. Entity 45, most commonly known as Chupavidas, are deceptive creatures that manifest as a grouping of ghostly humanoid figures seated around a bonfire. This, however, is nothing more than an illusion created with the purpose of attracting wanderers who travel alone, all with the intention of consuming them. Everything, from the gathered beings to the fire itself, is false, although it may not seem so at first glance. The nature of the entity can be revealed by those with an above-average level of perception, as this will allow them to see the small, almost imperceptible flaws in the illusions. The most noticeable detail is the fact that the flames do not emit any heat, and, in fact, seem to absorb the warmth of the wanderers. Instances of Entity 45 are typically located on frequently traveled routes, or at common resting places, such as the outskirts of bases, or in the vicinity of a variety of level entry points. Though it is unknown if they are capable of moving, or if they are anchored to their position. The population of Entity 45 and the number of levels they have been sighted on seems to have grown over time. It can be found infesting forests, deserts, and many other outdoor spaces throughout the Backrooms. Behaviors. Entity 45 is a passive predator luring its target with the promise of a cozy fire, good food, and conversation to pass the time. To complement this, the entity can alter its prey's perception of reality, which allows it to hide its ghostly appearance from approaching wanderers. This is not the only form of deception practiced by the entity. Its humanoid mimics, who seem to have been chosen by the entity to look as non-threatening as possible, act in extremely friendly and manipulative ways, trying by all possible means to keep their victim with them for a long period of time. Under the influence of Entity 45, wanderers are induced to believe that they are in front of a campfire emitting real heat, that their life force is not being slowly consumed, and that the figures seated by the fire are actual humans. While it is said that being under the sphere of influence of the entity makes a person more compliant to obey, it is unknown whether this is within Entity 45's capabilities, or whether the phenomenon is just the result of the amiability it feigns. Biology. Unlike many other predators of the Backrooms, Entity 45 feeds on a person's essence, draining them until they are completely incorporated into its own. It is a slow process, whereby the entity absorbs one's life story, everything that makes a human being what they are, every memory, every history will be assimilated and subsequently consumed by Entity 45. People who have managed to escape the entity's embrace midway through the process mention that chunks of their identity were missing. This resulted in memory gaps, the inability to perform activities requiring a specific skill despite having memories of acquiring said skill, and a constant sense of déjà vu, among other symptoms. Once the person has been fully drained, a recreation of the individual based on all the information accumulated by their absorption can be used by the entity as bait to attract more wanderers. It is unknown to what extent these creations maintain an individual level of consciousness, or how much influence the personality of the original person exerts. Most choose to believe that the original being dies during the process, and that the illusion is merely a puppet molded from the victim's memories and knowledge. Discovery. For many years, the Chupavidas were considered mere legends. Stories with the purpose of teaching children not to be so trusting with strangers. It was not until the first cameras were introduced in the Backrooms that the first images of Entity 45 could be captured, thus confirming its existence. The first reports of the entity's activity mentioned that its human mimics were barely coherent, being unable to form even basic sentences that made sense. This suggests that over time, and by consuming more human experiences, the entity has been able to imitate humans more accurately. Another one? We can go on all night if you want. Yes, we have plenty of stories. No, I'm not feeling well. You must be tired. I think you should rest. Yes, you walked a long way to get here. You must be exhausted. I think it's my stomach. Maybe it was the food? Impossible. We make the best food of all the surrounding levels. Wait, what is that? It's nothing, kid. You should rest now. Come on. Lie down here, near the fire. I'm freezing. I'm shivering. Here. Come closer to the fire. You will feel better. What was that? What did you feed me? You're talking nonsense. Come on, it's time to sleep. This way. So cold. Close your eyes. You'll feel better. You'll see. Come on, boy. Just lie back and relax. We're almost done. Sweet dreams.